They didn't forget. They had other priorities. My mother lost her temper when she found out I'd skipped her calls after she ditched my 30th birthday for a wellness retreat. "Don't ever reach out again," I shot back, as I severed every connection and relocated across state lines. It was my 30th. I wasn't expecting fireworks or a grand party, just a simple call, maybe a shared meal, something small. Instead, I got nothing but silence. Not a single message from my parents, not a word from my sister, not even a quick emoji in our family chat. I hadn't planned anything extravagant, just a low-key gathering in my backyard. My cousin Derek brought burgers. A handful of friends showed up with drinks. We played poker, had some music playing in the background. It was honestly pretty nice, except I kept checking my phone like a fool, hoping for something. My mom usually sent a belated text, even if it was hours late, but this time, nothing. Derek noticed and asked, "Where's your family at?" I shrugged and said, "Probably busy." He gave me a knowing glance. I brushed it off. But later that night, while scrolling through social media, I saw what their busy looked like. My mom, sister, and aunt were all tagged in posts from a fancy vineyard upstate, wine tours, spa days, photos captioned, "Cherishing moments with my favorite people," posted right in the middle of my birthday. No mention of me. I stared at those pictures longer than I'd like to admit, not because I was surprised. This wasn't new. It was just the first time it was so obvious. I'd always been there when they needed something. My sister needed help with her rent? I paid it. Mom mentioned Dad's work hours were cut. I covered their utilities. They were all on my streaming accounts. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, you name it. I even let them use a credit card I'd opened for emergencies. Turns out the emergency was caring about me. That night I decided I was through. No big speech, no dramatic confrontation, just action. I started with the streaming accounts, logged into every single one, signed out all devices, and reset the passwords. Netflix, Hulu, Max, Spotify, Prime, all gone. I checked the login history. Sure enough, they'd been using them. On my birthday, while I was in my backyard sipping a beer with Derek and pretending I didn't care that my phone was silent, they were streaming shows on my accounts. Then I looked at the credit card. My sister had used it for food delivery 3 times. My parents had been charging groceries. That wasn't the agreement. I froze the card, then called the bank and canceled it completely, paying off the balance myself. Was it costly? Yes. Worth it? Without a doubt. The next day, the messages started rolling in. My sister, "Is Netflix down?" My mom, "Dad's card isn't working, can you fix it?" I didn't reply. Then another text from Mom, more frantic. "We're at the store, and the card's declining. What's happening?" Then a call from the bank's fraud department, asking if I'd reported suspicious activity. I confirmed I'd frozen the card myself. "Not fraud," I said. "Just done supporting people who don't care." The bank rep went quiet. For the first time in years, I felt free. Not furious, just finished. They didn't see me as family, not really. I was just a resource they didn't bother to appreciate. But I wasn't done yet. This was just the beginning. I wanted them to feel the consequences, the slow unraveling of losing something they'd taken for granted. They wouldn't learn from a single blow. It had to sting over time. The real chaos hit when their phones stopped working. That's when it went from annoying to catastrophic for them. Money? They could shrug that off. A missed birthday? They could excuse it. But losing their phones, their lifeline to the world, that got them. I was the primary account holder for our family phone plan. 5 lines, all under my name. I logged in, reduced it to just my line, and canceled the rest. 15 minutes, done. Cheaper for me, devastating for them. My sister messaged me on social media using someone's Wi-Fi. No greeting, just, "You really cut off our phones? Are you insane?" I didn't respond. I closed the app. That night, Mom sent an email. Subject, urgent. Call me. She wrote about being stranded, unable to log into accounts, cut off from the world. Then the kicker. We feel abandoned. Abandoned? The same people who skipped my birthday for a spa day in matching robes? I remembered all the times I'd dropped everything for them. Driving Mom to appointments, covering Dad's insurance, letting my sister crash at my place after breakups. I never questioned it. I just kept giving. And they acted like it was nothing. Now they felt abandoned? That word burned. That same night, Dad called. No apology, no concern for me. Just, what's wrong with you, Stephen? Why are you doing this? I said, I'm not doing anything anymore. That's the point. He called me dramatic, said I should have just talked it out instead of going nuclear. That's when it clicked. They didn't think they'd done anything wrong. To them, I was the problem. Too sensitive, too emotional. Ignoring my birthday and treating me like a wallet was just normal family behavior to them. They couldn't see the issue, and they never would. So I stopped holding back. I listed everything. I'd been covering food apps, ride shares, cloud storage, Amazon family, all of it. I shut it all down. The final blow was kicking them off my Prime account. No more free shipping, no movies, no deals. You'd think I'd burned their house down. My Uncle Mark called. He's different, self-sufficient, no nonsense. I almost didn't pick up, but I did. He said, "Your mom's telling everyone you've lost it." I asked what he thought. He paused, then said, "I think you've finally set a boundary they should have seen coming years ago." That hit deep. I told him everything, the birthday, the spa trip, the credit card misuse. He listened quietly, then said, "Make sure you're doing this to teach them, not destroy them." I wasn't sure myself. I didn't want vengeance exactly. I wanted them to understand what it felt like to be ignored, used, and expected to keep giving. But maybe they'd never get it. Maybe this was about me waking up. The next week was eerie, quiet, like the calm before a storm. I figured they were plotting, waiting to guilt me into reversing it all. That's how it always went. Silence, fake, concern, half apologies to keep the cash flowing, but this time, I didn't budge. Then my sister showed up at my door unannounced. Sweaty gym clothes, dead phone in one hand, coffee in the other. She asked if I'd had my moment and was ready to fix things. That word, moment, like I was throwing a fit. I told her nothing was being fixed. She rolled her eyes, said Mom. Was a wreck. Dad was borrowing phones to call work. They were stressed, confused, didn't get why I was destroying everything over one day. I stared at her. Did she really think this was just about a birthday? I laid it out. Years of paying their way, being ignored, unappreciated, and then deliberately excluded on my birthday. She went quiet, then said, "You never asked for anything." I replied, "That made it easier to forget me, didn't it?" She had no response. She left soon after. No yelling, no tears, just heavy silence. 2 days later, Mom emailed again. Calm this time. She was disappointed in my approach, called me selfish for cutting them off. Selfish. The woman who used my money for a vineyard trip while ignoring my existence called me selfish. I didn't respond. Then I found out the spa trip was funded by reward points from a card I'd given them access to years ago. My points. My rewards. They'd been racking up hotel stays and dinners in my name. I hadn't noticed until I checked the account history. They didn't just forget me, they celebrated with my money. Something inside me went cold, the anger faded, the hurt dulled. I just wanted distance, peace. I called the credit company, removed them from everything, and reported their charges for investigation. The rep warned it could escalate. I said, "Let it." They fought back, spreading their version of the story. Cousins I hadn't spoken to in years texted me, "Your mom's really upset, man. Everyone makes mistakes. She's still your mom." They didn't know the full story. how I'd bailed Mom out of debt, skipped meals to cover their bills. They saw the drama and assumed I was the issue. Mom played the victim, crying to anyone who'd listen, painting me as the villain. But not everyone bought it. Aunt Clara, Dad's sister, called. She's sharp, no drama. I've heard 10 versions of this and 9 sound like nonsense. What's the truth? I told her everything. The birthday, the accounts, the years of being their safety net. She didn't interrupt. When I finished, she said, "You're the first one to call out their selfishness." I asked if I was going too far. She said, "No, you're done pretending they're not who they are." That hit hard, because I had been pretending we were close, that I mattered to them. Then Mom's friend from my high school days called, saying Mom was heartbroken and missed me. But Mom still hadn't called me herself. No accountability, just proxies to guilt me. I realized nothing had changed, so I sent one final message to Mom, Dad, and my sister. This isn't about a birthday. It's about years of being useful, not valued. You pushed me out, and I finally accepted it. I'm not angry. I'm done. I blocked them. I thought that was it, but they don't handle silence well. A week later, the calls stopped. No emails, no random messages. Then Derek showed up with tacos and beers. We sat on the porch. He said, "Your mom's calling everyone saying she wants to fix things." I asked, "Did she admit what she did?" He took a sip, then said, "No. Just wants you to come back around. Come back around." Like I was the one who left. Like I needed to return to being their ATM. I didn't say much. Derek got it. That night, my sister posted a cryptic Instagram story about betrayal and forgetting your roots. No names, but the comments, friends pitying her, saying she'd done so much. Made me laugh. I'd funded her life for years, and she was the victim? Mom emailed again. "Let's work this out." She admitted mistakes, but said, "We forgive you." Forgive me? For what? Being used? I didn't reply. I kept cutting ties. Every account, every service linked to me. Rental apps, Costco, gym memberships gone. I erased myself from their world. Then a handwritten letter arrived. 3 pages, blue ink, messy. Mom wrote, "We miss you. We love you." A soft apology. "I'm sorry if you felt left out. That wasn't our intention." Then the truth. Dad's struggling financially. My sister's job is shaky. They need help. And the kicker, we're ready to forgive you when you're ready. To come home. They didn't want reconciliation. They wanted their safety net back. I tossed the letter. The next day, I decided to move. Not a vacation, a fresh start. I'd spent years trapped in their cycle, hoping they'd see me. They never would. I didn't need their approval anymore. They could spin the story, call me cold, dramatic. I knew the truth. I packed up, left quietly. No goodbyes, no speeches. I drove 16 hours to a new state, a new life. I didn't tell Derek or my job until the last moment. It wasn't far, but it felt like a different planet. No one knew me. No one expected anything. I got a job at a small tech firm, rented a simple apartment, lived quietly, cooked my own food, watched my own shows, paid my own bills. The silence felt strange at first, like something was missing. Then I realized it was the waiting. No more vague texts, no pressure, no being a walking wallet. 3 weeks in, a strange number called. I let it go to voicemail. My sister. She sounded tired. "I know you won't listen, but Mom's crying daily. Dad checks the mail for your letter. Just tell us you're alive." I listened twice, then deleted it. They wanted peace, forgiveness, but never said we were wrong. It was always about their pain, not mine. A few days later, Dad emailed, "You've made your choice, I get it. We were wrong. You didn't deserve this. I didn't delete it. I left it unopened, a relic of the apology I'd waited for. 2. Late to fix anything, but real enough to matter. Then, silence. No calls, no emails, no distant relatives. Maybe they finally saw it. Love without respect, effort, or presence isn't love. Eric tracked me down months later. Showed up with a grin. "This is what freedom looks like, huh?" We talked. I told him I wasn't angry, just done. I couldn't go back. He nodded, then said, "They say they lost you, but they never had you. They had your access." That cut deep because it was true. They didn't lose a son or brother. They lost the version of me who let them use him. Now sometimes a holiday card arrives. No sender, just thinking of you in mom or dad's handwriting. I don't reply, but I keep them in a drawer. Not for hope, but as proof of how far I've come. Forgiveness doesn't mean returning. It means moving on, leaving the weight behind. I didn't burn the bridge. I crossed it and never looked back.